XIC in Javier. This is Student View.
Hello, my name is Keith McCormack and I work at XIC Secondary School. In my roles, I am the head of the history department and I'm also the head of year 11. In year 11, right, it's a very important exam year. We have IGCSEs or GCSEs, okay? Students sometimes need some extra help. So we've developed a program where every student in year 11 has a mentor. Those mentors are teachers.
My mentor is Mr Mills.
My mentor is Miss Cavallero.
My mentor is Mr Knott.
My mentor is Mr Rigby.
My mentor is Miss Lovett.
They have regular meetings, more or less once a month, that's the plan, to see if there's anything that they need certain help with. So are they falling behind in some study? Do they have any social issues or anything in the school? So then the mentor can follow this up and directly go as a go-between between the student and certain teachers that they would have for subjects to ask us for extra support.
They'll talk us through revision timetables and help us find different ways to revise, because not every way works for every person.
They'll go through certain points where we struggle and where we do well, and they'll speak to teachers to try and help us.
They'll also help us try and up our grades a little bit more than we already have been.
So it's just for year 11, not for level year 12, so year 13?
No, year 12 and year 13 would have gone through that program before when they were in year 11. Now, in fairness, in sixth form, there's a bit more independence involved, but they do have the experience of already having done it. And like in a lot of cases with the mentors, it doesn't stop, even though it's officially not lasting anymore when they get to year 12, 13. There's still a lot of communication between the mentor and the mentee, as in the student who was there. Like as I think I was telling you before, I got one student who's now studying in Ireland in Trinity College, who I was mentoring when she was in year 11, and we tend to be in constant contact every couple of weeks or so. She lets me know how she's going. She doesn't ask for advice anymore, but that means obviously that the program works.
I think it's really different for everyone because there's different techniques you can use to revise as well. Some people have to do it in really short periods of time, but it's usually for you and your mentor to discuss before you start revising.
And if it's not really working with the mentor and the mentee, then as sort of the head of year 11, I can step in and I will be in on top of whatever's happening as well to try and diagnose what we can do better. And we have these things called CATs that you guys have done regularly. You've probably done 2 or 3 now at school. You do it every year.
Yeah.
And in the CATs, when we get information back, it does suggest who is a visual learner, who's an auditory learner, or another aspect as well. So a mentor can look at that and kind of go, well, let's say it's Elena, and Elena's a visual learner. I don't know if you are or not, haven't looked at
I am, actually.
There you go, right? And we could be looking at when a study program comes up for you, you're trying to do, let's say, physics or something like that. Well, we've got the text and we've got our notes or whatever you've done in class, but let's look for those videos, let's look for those clips, podcasts and things like that are directly on the topics that you're studying, so that can supplement your learning. There's no way that every revision technique is going to work for every student, but certain ones tend to suit certain students in certain ways. So when it comes to visual, like it's kind of like mind maps and things like that are very good, where you make a poster of basic ideas, you have your different ideas on a map, and then you can actually make sub-posters and make smaller ones. So breaking up a topic into smaller pieces, then in that smaller piece, do I need to know more specific information? Then I make another one. So all of a sudden when you come to revising, let's say it's physics again, it doesn't matter what it is, you actually have a bunch of posters that you could physically put on a wall somewhere and look at them and view them. And through memory of looking at what's going, it makes it easier to do that.
How could we start that we're year 9s? How could we start learning how to learn?
Yeah, I see. Okay, well, the best thing to do is start listening to what I've just said. But at the same time, it is a good question, because maybe we should be looking at year 9s and talking about these study techniques.
Listen.
Make sure you revise for all of the stuff you did in year 10, because it will come up in year 11.
The more revision you do in year 10, it helps you more with year 11.
Always ask for help from teachers. They're willing to give it to you.
Don't waste any time, because time is precious when it comes to exams.
Everything you miss, you're just going to have to learn again in year 11.
I know certain people sit down and watch a series, and you talk the next day, I was watching something on Netflix last night. It's great, wonderful. And I said, tell me about it. I said, can't really remember, Not a visual learner, But of course they're watching it for entertainment purposes, not in order to do a test on whatever it is they're watching. But you will probably find in your own life, when you recall things, why was it that you recalled them? Was it something that I saw? Was it something that I heard? Was it something that was shown to me? You know, and these are the ways that we look at with you.
We can schedule times ourselves by going up to the teachers, but right now we've only had 2 or 3. If we need more help, we can go and ask though.